It is party time, Mom. Welcome to another episode of the Chad Prather Show. We're in Studio 22, the new improved big room for activities. Studio 22. We are in the new space, and we are exploring all of it. Puppet Master Mark is at the helm. He's driving us into the nether regions of all things insanity of Super Mario Chris Cruz. Show me again. Look at Chris. Chris, you kind of look like Hulk Hogan over there in that yellow shirt. Look at you. Yeah, brother. Yeah, brother. Yeah. That was kind of my Yaku Bullions meets Hulk Hogan. Yo, brother. Listen to me, brother. I've got to tell you the most important thing I've ever said to anyone, brother. Oh, yeah, we're going to have a good time today. It's going to be good stuff. A lot of things going on in the news. Everybody on the planet has Omicron. Everybody's got it. And we're gonna tell you. We're gonna read the list off. Special guest today, my buddy Bobby Sausalito. Sauce is in the house. You just flew in from Florida.
Yes, I did.
Where you live in Florida?
Fort Lauderdale.
Fort Lauderdale. I like that place.
It's free. It's nice. It's great. Love it.
So y'all got to be following Bobby Sausalito. If you're not already, I bet a lot of you already are. Take naps on Instagram.
Yes.
You're off to the races, bro. Your social media's killing it.
Thank you.
How do you, okay, so you're doing a lot of your stuff. You do comedy. You're doing the commentary. I love what you do. I love the talking head in the car platform, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I've made a living doing it.
Exactly.
So it works.
Yes.
How did you get started doing that?
On the night after the DNC in 2020, I just was really frustrated and needed some way to vent. So I just made this video as I was like sitting in my office at work, just freaking out about it. Didn't really think much would become of it. And I had like 1,000 followers. And the next morning when I woke up, it had 60,000 views. I had
crazy.
about 5,000 followers. And I was like, what if I made another one? Could I do it again? Did one about Lori Lightfoot, LL on Cool J, as I call her. And that one did 55,000 views. And I was like, all right, I'll do one every day to the election and see what happens.
Yeah.
And by the election, there was like 30,000, and it's been off to the races.
And primarily doing Instagram?
Yeah, it's like Instagram, and now I'm everywhere. YouTube, Facebook, Getter, Twitter.
Is it all take naps?
Yeah, no, it's different on a couple of them because
Gotcha.
that handle was taken, but all of it's on BobbySauce.com. Links around.
BobbySauce.com.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, it's funny because what you just said is exactly what happened to me in early 2015. I was like, this got 1 million views. I wonder if I could, because that was Facebook. I was like, I wonder if I could do that again.
Yeah.
Week later, did it again, and then bam, it was kind of off to the races.
Exactly.
But doing it in the car is nice because people have always said, why is this Yahoo sitting in the car again? Like, you guys are dumb. Like, y'all don't understand. Nobody bothers you.
Right.
I can park anywhere I want to park, away from people. Just this morning, I was trying to do a Facebook Live in my dressing room here at the. I've moved from the car to the dressing room. I was trying to do it in the dressing room, and people are knocking on the door. Chris Cruz is like, "You got to be in makeup. You got to be a makeup man." Hulk Hogan. And so, and then the lighting was bad in there. I can always park where there's good lighting.
Exactly, yeah. You can turn.
Yeah.
Or you can park where you know that there's no interference. Plus, I think the thing about the car is that your mind is uninterrupted and there's nothing but that you can do but drive, and it allows you to think freely, kind of like the shower.
Yeah.
It's like there's nothing you could do, and like you're doing muscle memory.
Yeah.
So it's like your mind is really cooking, knowing that there will be no encumbrances to it.
See, when I started off doing it, I was doing it driving down the street.
Yeah.
Now I park.
Yeah.
Then I started parking. That didn't take long because people come at you.
Right.
They're like, "Bro, that's really dangerous." And I'm like, "Okay, you're right.
No, yeah.
You're right." So I started parking and doing it. But like early on, I'd be sitting in traffic. I mean, I wasn't like doing 70. But I do wish that there was a way that I could just record while I'm driving, because that's when it really just gets going.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I like that. I don't do as many anymore. One, they're time consuming to get them done and just say what you want to say, to find that place to park. And there's stuff that goes into it.
Yeah, no, that's right.
I mean, you got to set the camera up. You got to do the whole thing. And we're working hard here, Bobby.
That's right. Fighting the power.
We're fighting. I mean, we're using our voice here. I mean, we're not laying bricks, digging ditches or anything. We're not getting shot at. But this is hard work.
Yes.
But then it got to the point where it was like just not getting the reach anymore. But I've got 45 more days of campaigning, at least that we know of. I mean, I could win this primary and we'd keep on rocking and rolling. But I am committed this year to getting in the truck more and doing more of those videos. And not necessarily all politics, just funny observational stuff that makes me laugh anyway.
Yeah, I think that the micro content is the thing that really excites me a lot lately, and it's like you kind of have to adapt to what people are consuming. And I originally didn't want to make 30-second reels or TikTok videos. I was like, how am I going to put all this in there? And what it made me realize is like you have to be really focused and poignant. It's like if I can deliver something that's all one package in 30 seconds, like more people will consume it based on what we've got going on. And people tell me they like that, so it's like, all right, I'll respond to what they say that they want.
Well, and it's good, smart, funny content that you're putting out there.
Thanks.
And I watch every single one of them.
Nice.
And like, so for my audience, if you guys like the in the truck kind of format and you're on Instagram, and follow him at Take Naps, and follow me too. Watch Chad.
Yeah.
Don't forget. I had to delete one this morning. Chris, have you seen the video? And I'll ask you too, Bob. Have you seen the video where the guy just douses himself in hand sanitizer and then they tase him and he catches on fire?
No.
Okay, so I thought it was a funny video. I didn't realize the guy ultimately died from this.
Good grief.
So I posted the video because the cops, when the guy combusts, they all run away from him.
Oh my God.
And what had happened was the flame was all over him, and so he inhaled the flame. It burned his lungs, and he ultimately died from the injuries. Now, so I'm like, I posted a thing, and I was like, okay. I mean, I'm not telepathic. I don't know all the story.
Right.
I just see the video on Telegram, and I'm like, these cops, their reaction to it. I mean, first of all, I was like, two things are happening here. The guy's doused himself in hand sanitizer because it's suicide by cop. He just knows he's going to get tased. Or he's one of those dudes that's like, I'm going to oil up because I'm about to go into battle kind of things. Like, you're not going to be able to get a good handle on me. So I'm like, I thought it was kind of funny that this was this guy's reaction, who just doused himself in this stuff, and then they tase him, and boom, and he combusts.
Oh my God.
I'll show you at the break.
That's horrifying.
It really is. And then I didn't know the guy died, so I felt bad.
Yeah.
I do have a conscience.
Yeah.
So I took it down. It was on my Instagram. 85,000 views later, I took it down. People were like, this is bad taste. I'm like, again, I didn't know the guy died from it. But at what point in time did we start getting offended by every damn thing? We used to do Faces of Death. Remember those videos, or the Darwin Awards about how people kill themselves in stupid ways?
Yes.
Like 101 uses for a dead cat. There used to be those books.
There's a television show called like 1,000 Ways to Die, and it was like people that died doing like really dumb things.
Yeah, like a dude who was going to do a homemade slip and slide with bisqueen plastic, and he was going to slide down to the pool. They were doing construction, and he slides over a nail and disembowels himself. I'm like, we watch this stuff, and then suddenly everybody's like, this is in poor taste. I don't know about you guys, but like I'm a Daniel Tosh kind of comic. I like that's the kind of stuff that makes me laugh.
Yeah,
just it's off the charts, politically incorrect.
Yeah.
And so again, everybody's gotten soft, dude.
I think so. And like the other thing too is like people are learning. We learn from this. You watch 1,000, like that's a learning moment. And now if that's offensive, then that just means someone else could potentially do that.
Yeah,
which is bad.
I watch these shows like Ridiculousness, Rob Dyrdek's show. It's like, I'm never going to jump a snowboard from one building to another.
There you go.
Or a snowmobile. I'm never going to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, there's a reason people die.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to avoid that.
Yeah.
I'm never going to douse myself in hand sanitizer and ask to be tased.
Yeah, just that. Yeah. Definitely not a good idea. It's a poor strategy.
Speaking of stupid people, you mentioned her, Lori Lightfoot. She's got the COVID. Omicron is a blessing. I keep saying Omicron's a blessing, right?
Yes.
Because no matter what happens, it's not bad. It's mild. You're basically getting a cold. And then when you get over it, you've got the antibodies. So it's a good thing. People aren't getting hammered with this thing. And so everybody that's vaxxed basically now has the Omicron. They've got it.
Yep.
Lori Lightfoot, mayor of Chicago, she's got it. AOC, of course, she went out there partying with the they're not, I want to say they're transgender. They're not. They're transvestites. They're cross-dressers. She was at the cross-dressing party.
They were at the
Miami.
There's a cross-dressing, like brunch show in Miami. Yeah.
You got to be careful because the transgenders don't like the transvestites.
See, I don't know the difference.
The LGBT community doesn't get along. See, they're all in the same alphabet soup, but they really don't like each other.
Yeah.
Like years ago, the Pride Parade in L.A., in West Hollywood, they didn't want transvestites in it because that was an insult to the transgenders.
Go figure.
Can you figure that one out?
Can you figure it out? They're just like, everybody is welcome except for you. It's like, okay.
But so she was with not the T's because they weren't transgenders, but she was partying with the either way. Now Lori Lightfoot, who's an L, she's a lesbian, has nothing to do with getting the Omicron, but she does fit squarely in the alphabet category. She says cold-like symptoms, but otherwise feels fine. Have you had it? Can you say? Do you even talk about stuff like that?
I have not had it, no.
Yeah?
No.
See, man, we got super blood.
I mean, what I tell people is I've been microdosing on COVID for the last 2 years by like living, like going places and doing things.
Listen, I've started adding quercetin into my regimen of zinc and cocaine, and it works. It works, bro. Yeah. I'm on a tequila protocol.
There you go.
And it kills everything.
Yeah.
It was awesome. Hey, best wishes to Mayor Lori Lightfoot. I want you to get better from the sniffles. I really do. But this is where we're at. This makes major news.
Yes.
This is what makes major news.
You can't criticize her, though, remember, because she's a woman, she's a lesbian, and she's a woman of color. Therefore, any criticism you have of her is because of those reasons, according to her. I'm
just glad Omicron does not discriminate.
That's right.
You know, it's an equal opportunity sniffle thing. And have you ever seen her wife or husband or whatever they call themselves?
I have.
Looks like the church lady, Dana Carvey.
Yep.
From the SNL.
That is correct.
It's a lot of a lot going on there.
Lots of jokes, free jokes. That's what I always say.
It really is.
There's a couple free jokes.
I mean, it's just absolute insanity.
The hats. Have you ever seen her in the hats? And like she looks like an old timey like investigator or whatever, like a mobster. Yo, my God, dying. The memes, it's too good. The internet wins again.
I'm telling you, we're living in a day and age. Like, okay, so think about this combination of culture. We're living in a day and age where you have the best material thrown at you all day, every day to make fun of. But since everybody's so hypersensitive, you can't make fun of any of it.
Right.
That's why I'm unapologetic. I'm actually working on a new comedy show. Are you doing stand-up?
I have not yet. No.
Okay. It's fun.
Yeah.
First of all, I love being on stage, but I'll tell you, I'm working on a new hour. I want to do this show sometime. Depends on how the election stuff comes out. But at some point in time, I'm going to do a show, and the name of the show is Men Are Pigs, right? Ultimately, it's going to talk about why we need men to be men.
Yes.
But it's going to be a humorous and funny look at how men are, right? And so I'm building a whole new hour called Men Are Pigs, and we are. I mean, we really are.
Not ashamed to say it.
I mean, we really are.
That's what it needs to be. Just like you said, it's like that's what we need, though.
No, an unmarried man has never volunteered to go to outer space. I'll put it that way. No. It's always the married dudes. There's a reason.
Yeah.
We like drafts. I don't care if it's for war or for fantasy football. We're showing up for the draft. Our dream is 100 years war. Yeah. Just get us out of the house. Okay, that's what we want.
Yeah.
Did you celebrate January 6th?
I did. I had a moment of silence. We had a cake. We cried a little. Yeah. For all the fallen. Nobody.
Start having a J6. This window was broken in the Capitol building.
Yeah. Yep.
We're going to have a J6 party.
Well, it's like, it compares with 9/11 and Pearl Harbor. Thousands of deaths and war. Multiple wars.
It does.
But yeah, there was a baseball bat, apparently.
Yeah, they were handing them out. Did you see the video?
Yeah, out the window.
They're like handing them to them?
Yeah.
Like, what the hell's going on?
Sure, yeah.
So, they had the deal with the FBI. And you guys, we don't need to show the clip. At the FBI, Ted Cruz, he's on my shit list anyway. Ted Cruz's career may be done for calling this a terrorist act over and over again. He's done it twice. But he was talking to the FBI Executive Assistant Director, National Security Branch, Jill Sanborn. He kept asking her about these things. Did the FBI have anything to do with this? Were there informants? Whether it's she kept saying, "I'm not gonna, can't answer that, can't answer that," which to me means you're guilty.
Right.
To me, that means you're guilty.
100%.
Yeah. So anyway.
Did you see his, and what it really bothered me when Ted Cruz was like, "Oh, I said that in error," or whatever, when he said that to Tucker, and Tucker was like, "No, dude, no, like you're the guy that is very selective with his words. Like, don't say that. Such a bullshit excuse."
It's like you say it, yeah. That's a cop out.
I was like, okay.
Ted Cruz does not misspeak.
Yeah, I was like, okay, dude.
Yeah, everything he says for a purpose.
Yeah, like if that was your buddy, you would be like, "Nah, dude, like absolutely not. Like you just came down a peg in our friendship because that's bullshit."
Yeah, bro, I heard what you called him. Yes. I heard what you called him.
Yeah, it's on video.
All right. I'll play back the tape. For you. Oh my gosh! Hey, I think they got a new label on the Bonner Private wine. You a wine drinker?
Yeah.
At all? Yeah. I had to ease back on the reds because of the gout. But let me tell you something. Bonner Private Wine. This is that Argentine Malbec that comes down from like 9,000 feet in the sky. Third largest vineyard in the world, and they sent us a new shipment of this stuff. I'm gonna have to dig into this. This is a red blend right here. This is good stuff. They grow these grapes, Bobby, up at in these high altitudes in Argentina, and it makes the Malbec grape stronger. Nice. It makes it healthier. So if you want the good notes, the blackberry, the leather, and all of that kind of stuff, it's really, really good. So they changed the website on it, though, because it used to be the cowboywines.com. Now it is Bonner. Make sure I get it right. BonnerPrivateWines.com/Chad. BonnerPrivateWines/Chad. They're going to give you a discount on the wine, as well as a huge discount on the shipping. And I keep telling you, this stuff eventually it's going to run out because I can't keep bringing it down out of the mountain, and they're under a lot of duress to get it here. So get it. BonnerPrivateWines.com/Chad. We'll be right back. Hey, welcome back. Guess what? Bobby Sausalito, he's transformed into Justin Haskins. Justin Haskins, of course, is the co-author of Glenn Beck's new book, The Great Reset. You've heard Glenn talking about it. It is the most important book I've ever written. It is available now. It's number one on Amazon. You need to go out there and you need to get it. This book is huge. Justin, you guys worked hard on this thing. I know you're proud of it. Anytime you write a book, it's kind of like you've given birth to something. You put it out there in the world.
Without a doubt.
What was the point? What was the process?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it all started in mid-2020, the height of the insanity of COVID, height of the insanity of mobs burning down cities. And there was this gigantic movement suddenly from world elites, hosted at first by the good folks over at Davos, World Economic Forum, Klaus Schwab, Prince Charles was heavily involved. And they rolled out this campaign for a great reset. So now's the time for a great reset, to push the reset button on the entire global economy. And when you see stuff like that and you start reading the quotes from the people who were involved, head of the United Nations was there, head of all these big corporations were there, many American corporations, bankers, all of these powerful people saying, we got to reset capitalism, we got to move to a whole new model. You know, you can't help but be interested. What the heck are they talking about, right? And at first it seemed like maybe this is just a rebranding of, leftism or just socialism or just a convenient excuse to say, let's just roll out progressivism, the same old stuff. But the more we started looking into what these people were doing behind the scenes, the more we realized, whoa, there is a ton of stuff going on here. And it's like falling down the rabbit hole. It's just the more you look into it, the crazier it got. And what we realized was that over the past 10 to 20 years, there's been a plan that's been put into place over a long time with elites in government and in banking and in corporations and financial institutions on Wall Street to create a new kind of economy that gives them all of the power, that makes them filthy rich in the process, and that leaves us with virtually no choices and no property and no privacy. And that is the stated goal of the plan. And it's just, it's sometimes reality is crazier than fiction. And in this case, that's absolutely true.
So I've been kind of watching, when you look at the thing, this trend and move towards a digital currency, the devaluation of the dollar, there's nothing really backing our currency. The fact that people are paying astronomical sums to buy up land, you never really own your land, whether it's, because of a property tax or something. I mean, every state in the nation has a property tax. Some of them are worse than others. You're always renting, your property. People really don't own anything anymore, and it's making it harder and harder to own things. And it's just making the powerful that much more powerful. And so, in looking at this and listening to Glenn, you guys, what you did is you kind of found the right string to pull, and it just started unraveling.
That's right.
And what we see is, once again, I hate to admit it, Glenn being right about these things.
Right.
And you want to think, okay, it's another doomsday scenario, it's another end of the world, but you guys provide some solutions and some active things to do.
Right.
When you walk away from this book, are you pessimistic or optimistic?
Well, I mean, I hope that you're both.
Yeah.
I hope that I hope you're pessimistic in the sense that if we do nothing, this really is going to become our world. It is transforming now. This isn't a proposal for the future, like the Green New Deal or something, although that is part of this.
Yeah.
This is happening now. So if we don't do anything, they're going to continue transforming the entire global economy. You're not going to own property, literally. You're going to become a renter for everything in your life. You're not going to be able to say what you want on social media. That's already starting to happen. You're not going to be able to buy the books that you want in the future. You're not going to be able to buy the products. You think you're going to be able to buy meat in 15 years? I don't think so. At least not like you can now. Not at the prices you are now, that's for sure. All of that is going to change if you don't stand up and do something. But if you follow the solutions that we talk about in the book, which really ultimately comes down to, we need to become more community focused locally. We need to start banking with people who are, local businesses, local banks and financial institutions. We need to start buying from local people. We need to know our neighbors. We need to become communities, real communities that protect each other. If we do that and we remove ourselves from this gigantic, these gigantic corporations, gigantic banks, all of these things who don't support our values, every time we give these people money, they're going out and supporting left-wing causes. If we pull back from that and build our own communities where we can protect ourselves, say the things that we need to say, do the things that we need to do, then I do believe that we at least can create a remnant, society that is free, that remains free. But if we don't do that, and states have a responsibility to do that, I think. But if we don't do that, then the system is going to transform around us, and we won't be able to stop it.
Yeah, we really have grown dull. We've kind of gotten hardened to. I wrote a book. It came out. It was more of a humorous aspect of things of this culture that we're in, called "Am I Crazy?" Mm-hmm. It was just another way of saying, look, this is insanity what we're seeing across the world, and we embrace it. Like, we've gotten so dull that we don't know what to do without the Amazons and the Apples and the Yahoos and the Googles of the world. We don't know what to do without the Facebook or the Tesla, all these different movers and shakers that are out there that in some ways make our lives easier, but at what cost? Right. Because we've given everything over to these industry giants. And they don't have good, positive motives for our future.
No, and that's exactly right. We need to transform our mindset and our priorities. And we need to realize that sometimes buying the cheapest thing isn't necessarily the right move to make.
Right.
Sometimes doing the most convenient thing on a day-to-day basis is not the right move to make. The left has been adopting that for a very long time, and it works. The strategy works. It's time for people who believe in individual liberty, who want to protect free speech, who want to live in a free society, to say, you know what? I'm not going to bank with companies that are imposing left-wing ideas and imposing ESG scores and things like that on others. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to buy from stores that are actively giving money to causes that reject everything that I believe in. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to buy local. I'm going to bank local. I'm going to think locally and remove myself from that sort of corrupt system. If enough people did that, it would put pressure on the people who are in these big corporations and these banks to at least rethink whether this is the right way to go about doing things. And that is so pivotal. It's the only chance we have really to stop this thing in the long run.
Yeah.
And it begins with each and every individual person making those choices and then telling these companies and banks why I'm making these choices.
Yeah.
I'm leaving your bank because you're part of this whole Great Reset movement.
Yeah.
I'm not shopping at your corporation anymore because you're embracing causes that I don't believe in at all.
Yeah.
That has to be something that we do. And states need to stand up for our rights too, which is another huge thing I know you care about a lot.
Sure.
If we don't have states fighting on our behalf, what the heck are they for? What's the point of these things?
Yeah, and that's the beauty of the 10th Amendment, right? Is it ultimately brings government back to local. We should be value driven in our business dealings as well on a local level. Like you said, I move all of my accounts to local banks. Yep. I almost want to be like Silas Marner and just bury my gold in the back and dig it up every night and run my fingers through it.
Right.
Both pieces of gold. But that I'm glad you guys wrote the book. I appreciate, because it was a long time coming.
Yeah.
There was a lot of research that went into it. You guys did a great job. You can get it at glensnewbook.com. That's a great website. I mean,
well, believe it or not, they did that because there were people selling fake copies of the book.
Really?
So they had to figure out a way to get people to go to the right place
Really?
to buy. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, which we've never had happen before. Glenn told me that's never happened before.
I just want to look. There's things about Glenn I want to copy. I wish I had his bank account to put locally.
Yep.
I mean, whatever. Gene Beck, he'll be something one day. But you don't go to Gene's new book. Go to Glenn's new book.com. But thank you for the hard work. Thanks for hanging out with me for a minute and talking about this thing. Because I want people to read the book. But be motivated by what Justin says, because this lines up with everything I've been saying about the public school system. We almost got to take it back to Little House on the Prairie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's an inconvenience. It really is. But spend more money. Learn how to grow your own food. All these things. We've lost that for the name of convenience.
Yep.
And that's the devil, man. It really is. Thank you. Thanks for the hard work. Thanks for coming on. You too. Hey, you got homeowners insurance for a good reason, because without it, a fire, flood, or burglary could destroy you financially. But there's another major crime homeowners policy will not cover. Can't do it. It's called home title fraud. The FBI calls title fraud one of the fastest growing crimes. It can ruin you financially very fast, too. You need home title lock. Title fraud happens when a criminal forges your signature on a quitclaim deed and files it stating that you sold your home to them, and then takes out loans against your home and leaves you with the payments. You're going to spend a whole big pile of money, that's Silas Marner gold, in legal fees trying to prove you didn't commit fraud. Home Title Lock's going to put a virtual barrier around your home's title the instant they detect anyone from a cyber thief, a renter, a relative. They can forge your way onto your home's title. Wind up getting you kicked out of your own house. So shut it down. Go to HometitleLock.com. Register your address right now to see if you're already a victim. Enter code RADIO for a 60-day money-back guarantee. That's code RADIO. HometitleLock.com. HometitleLock.com. We'll be right back. Hey guys, welcome back. There's an old wives' tale. Used to hear it when you were a kid. I know you've heard it too. It goes something like this. You put a frog in a pot of normal water and gradually you heat it up to boiling. The frog's just going to sit there until it boils because it can't detect that the water is getting hotter. It's not true, but please don't take the experiment and do that at home just in case I'm wrong. I don't need a dead frog on my conscience. Look, whether or not it's true of the frog, it can most definitely be true of economics. It came out the other day that a scarcity of potatoes has led to a shortage of French fries and chips all over the world. Now, if that doesn't already hit home with you, your arteries are probably clearer than mine. We, meaning the United States, are one of the world's top producers of potatoes, but the lockdown nonsense last year led directly to the forced destruction of hundreds of tons of the crop. Now, I want to pause and let you think about that for a moment. This is meaningful to me. Hundreds of tons of potatoes. Now, maybe not the best food for you to be eating, and I don't want to piss off the potato farmers out there, especially when, listen, It's food. It's good food. I love a potato. There's nothing wrong with a potato. There aren't as many starving people in the world today as there used to be, but there are starving people. Yet here in the good old U.S. of A., because of the hapless actions of a few bureaucratic jackasses in positions of power, we're just throwing massive quantities of food in a giant hole in the ground to rot. Now, I want you to realize it. Visualize this. Your car is probably a couple of tons, so imagine a pile of potatoes the size of your car. Now imagine a giant car lot with hundreds of similar piles of potatoes. Those potatoes are gone. They're not feeding the hungry. They're not getting sneezed on by pimple-faced kids in paper hats. They're not sitting in a small pile along with a whole lot of air inside a chip bag. So let me ask you, do you feel the heat yet? Because here's the scary part, folks. The stove isn't turned to low. We're at medium and well on our way to high. Our country's industrial infrastructure, and indeed that of the world, is a complicated machine with an unfathomable number of moving parts. Throw a stick in the gears and the machinery begins to grind to a halt. The point I'm trying to make here isn't that a French fry shortage is going to kill us. If anything, it might make us ever so slightly healthier to not be able to get fries with our meal. My point is that this is a symptom of a much larger and scarier problem. You can imagine all sorts of doomsday scenarios wherein the supply chain we all depend on could go down. Plenty of novelists and filmmakers have all been all over that like white on rice. We don't have a rice shortage just yet. But what happens when the apocalypse, what happens when it's of our own making? Now, here's a deep truth. Tyranny does not lead to the flourishing of mankind, ever. It may lead in the short term to the flourishing of a few privileged individuals, but even they usually end up getting their heads separated from their bodies when the revolution inevitably comes knocking on the door. What it does lead to is misery and death, usually on a broad scale. It leads to a lessening of the quality of life, something which only freedom can resolve. Right now, for so very many reasons, we are that proverbial frog in the pot of water. And listen, it's not good enough for us to just hop out of the water. That only solves the problem until the sick bastard who put you in there in the first place decides to grab you up and plop you back in. We have to change things both externally and in our own hearts and minds. This isn't just a call for you to vote for the right candidates. It's a call for you to think and act with your societal compass always pointed in the direction of freedom. It may be inconvenient, but anything less, folks, and we are toast, or burned French fries if you like that better. I went upstairs yesterday. We've got a little green room area. I took you up there a little while ago, Bobby.
Yes.
I took you up there. And they got a whole pantry and cabinet full of just crap food. Well, it's not, actually, because we got some frou-frou people around here. And they like to buy this organic, crazy nonsense. They were showing me this vast array of potato chips up there. And I was like, are these chips or is these like apple crisps?
Yeah.
Because I don't want to be fooled here. I don't want us to get to a point in the American economy and supply chain where I bite into a French fry and they're replacing this with apples.
That would not be good.
You
Not
remember when
ideal.
we were kids? They didn't have, like now you can choose the fruit with your Happy Meal.
Yeah.
And some kids choose it.
Yeah.
What the hell's wrong with these kids? You got to fry a potato. God, it's like, I don't know. Maybe deep down I've got some Irish in me somewhere, but I do love a potato. There's nothing better.
I'm not a big potato fan.
No?
Not big on the potatoes.
Come
No.
on, dude. I love
Fries? I feel like a fry is not really a potato. I feel like it doesn't count.
it. Yeah.
But people are like, don't you just love a baked potato? And I'm like, no.
Nah.
Eh.
I'm at a point now, though, where honestly, traveling so much, I right now, like touring, doing live shows is different than campaigning, because campaigning, you're one event to the next, boom, 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 you multiple places in a day, and you're just grabbing stuff on the run. So quite honestly, I am sick of the French fry.
Yeah.
I'm kind of sick of the French fry. And so I get it. But this is a telling thing. These shortages that are out there, and we're just throwing it away. We're not getting it to the people. We joke kind of tongue-in-cheek. I use the potato as an example. But there's so many other things that are out there.
Yes.
You know? So many other things. I mean, all the way up to these big commodity items. The car lots don't have anything on them.
Yeah. Well, it seems like it's by design. It seems like that's kind of what they want. It's like they want us eating like grasshoppers and eating crickets and things like that. I made the mistake of buying a seaweed snack a couple days ago.
Okay. That's a hell of a mistake.
I mean, I was like, all right, it's late. seaweed snack. And for some reason, I didn't think it would taste like seaweed, but it tastes like seaweed.
It tasted just like seaweed.
Just like seaweed.
Like just what I would
Literal.
think seaweed should taste like.
Yeah, under the sea. Just that's
Yeah.
what it tastes like. I was like,
You're like Tom Hanks in Castaway.
yeah,
You know?
yeah, and that's how I felt. I was like, why? I was like, I purchased this. Like I paid.
It said seaweed on the back.
It really did.
And
yeah,
you bought it?
I really did. Yeah,
Bobby,
big mistake. It was on the
Bro.
bottom shelf too. I was like, oh,
are you a reasonably healthy person? Like you're
would say
health conscious?
yeah, fair enough. Yeah,
All right. Because, like, I'm one big bag of toxin at this point, right? Like, normally I have some reasonably good habits. You know, I'm almost 50 years old. There's things falling apart, and I don't help myself. I mean, I talk about the gout. I got so much inflammation in me. I got my doctor friend saying, bro, you got to make some changes. And I'm like, there's so few joys in life.
Yeah,
Like that baked potato covered in butter and sour cream and all the bullshit. Hey, it's pretty good.
yeah.
It's pretty good.
I can understand it. I always say that's like, if I have to put a ton of things on a thing, do I really like the thing? or do I like the...
It's a good point.
You know what I mean?
Like if I open up a watermelon, I can just eat the watermelon.
Yeah.
It's good.
Straight
but
away.
If you just give me a baked potato with nothing on it.
Yeah.
See, that's wisdom, Bobby.
Yeah.
That's why, that's
Finally.
the kind of stuff that I glean from your videos. Those nuggets.
Yeah.
Like if you got to add a bunch of crap to it, did you really like the thing?
Yeah, exactly.
Like a marriage.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Like if I have to keep buying things to make this person happy, maybe this person just ain't gonna get happy.
Yeah.
God, it just reminds me. I you know why I eat bad, Mark? You know why I eat bad? Because I don't have any sex. It's the problem. You gotta have some kind of fulfillment. Golly, something's got to satisfy the flesh.
Oh boy. Yeah.
I mean, Adam had Eve. He had the food and the sex.
That's right.
Both of them got him in trouble.
Yeah.
Golly.
That's accurate.
Yeah, it's true. Oh, Bobby, now I'm depressed. Dude, I'm coming to hang with you in Fort Lauderdale is what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
How far are you from, well, I know exactly how far you are. I do several shows. I think we've got one coming up. We're going to be back in, like the Naples area.
Yep.
This year. We've got a place. We do a couple of nights of shows over there. You got to come hang.
Yep.
You like living in Florida?
I love living in Florida.
Florida's a good place.
It's my favorite place ever.
Yeah.
Like I've been around the United States in many spots, and when I leave now, I can't wait to get back there.
Yeah.
It's like every place I go reminds me why I love it so much.
Yeah.
Like from the moisture in the air to the breeze to the ocean to the modernness of it. It's just a great, awesome place.
Yeah, Nancy Pelosi loves it too.
Yeah,
she's $25 million place.
Is that? I heard that was maybe not true. I don't know.
I don't know. We'll have to fact check that. You know what? Speaking of fact checking, I'm going to tell y'all something when we come back. Hang tight. We'll be back in a second. Man, I was watching our live chat. Shout out to the Fact Pack that's doing the live chat right now. Love you guys. It's called the Fact Pack because I'll tell you the story in the break. But anyway, it's our group of people who are just faithfully watching on YouTube in the live chat who are doing it. So they play a drinking game. So at the beginning of the deal, they'll list like 4 words that inevitably I'll probably say throughout the show. Typically based on the news cycle or whatever. These people get hammered. Yeah. If they're truly playing the drinking game, drink. If they're playing the drinking game, they're getting hammered. Yeah. Like last night's show was January 6th and stuff like that. So they were getting hammered. Nice. Y'all got to come up with harder words. Anyway, but did you see the deal? You got that hot mic video with Fauci. So they had the little exchange. Dr. Fauci the other day. With Senator Marshall. He called him. Just watch the video.
It is totally accessible to you if you want it.
For the public. Is it accessible to the public?
To the public.
Great. We look
You
forward
are
to reviewing.
totally incorrect.
Well, we
Senator
look forward to
Marshall,
reviewing it.
Senator Marshall, Dr. Fauci has answered you. It is public information, and he's happy to give it to you if you would ask. Senator Moran.
What a moron.
What a moron. Yeah, let's do it.
Senator Moran.
What a moron. Christ.
So one of the things we're trying to work out is we've started kind of like nobody fact checks the White House or the Biden administration or just the powers that be. Like you and I get fact checked.
Yes.
Right? We put something on there and they're like, oh, independent fact checkers, assholes. So we've started doing this thing where we throw the cowboy Pinocchio up there. And well, we haven't done it yet. Have we done it yet? Yeah, so we're going to start adding, when we see these different news stories, we're going to start throwing the cowboy Pinocchio up there. It's kind of cool. It's got the big long nose, got the cowboy hat on there. We're going to start giving them a rating system.
Nice.
Of the depth of their lies. One of the things we like to do on the show, and it's very therapeutic for me because I get to make fun of these schizophrenic idiots that are out there, is we get to just warm my cockles with a TikTok video, which we're going to take a look at right now.
Alrighty, so I use 3 different sets of pronouns: they, them, theirs, am, airs, and its.
What?
And typically I just use they, them, theirs in public or at work because those are much more commonly known pronouns, and oftentimes I don't feel like doing a whole bunch of explaining when I'm meeting new people. But around other queers, then I like using am and its for various reasons. So yeah, I'll do some third person talking about myself to show you how they're used. They went to the store today to get groceries. They drove their car. I met them at the store. A went to the store to get groceries today. A drove their car. I met M at the store. And A introduced himself. It drove to the store to get groceries today. I met it at the store and it introduced itself.
This person can't even keep up with her own shit.
Yeah.
Like, she can't even keep up with her own stuff. She's stumbling over.
Yeah.
Yeah, she is stumbling over.
It is stumbling over. That's preposterous. Stupid.
And then they're going to get pissed off because you can't remember all of that stuff. They can't remember their own stuff.
I know. No, imagine how troubled that person is. That's the real question. It's like, what's wrong with you? Like, there's so many other things to pay attention to. You want someone to call you it? Yeah. Like, come on, dude. Like, what are you doing? Like,
but do you remember, like once upon a time, somebody would be offended if you referred to them as an inanimate object.
Yeah, right.
Like, you're not a person, you're an it.
Yeah.
Like, you're your thing.
Yeah, and what's the heirs? What the hell's heirs?
I don't know.
What is an heirs? Who wrote that? Who came up with that?
I don't know. My mother used to put on airs. Yeah. You know, she thought she was a little better than everybody.
I don't understand. Like, these are not even things. Like, I texted you before. I was like, please call me Zem with an X. That's a real thing.
It is. The G, Jim, and all that stuff.
What
and
is
I'm
that?
Like, everybody knows that watches this show. My pronouns are the, she, it.
Exactly.
I'm the shit. People are like, the is not a pronoun. Well, what the hell is heirs?
Exactly. Or Zem.
Or Jim.
Yeah.
They're making this stuff up.
Yeah.
And the funniest part of that video, that little TikTok, is she said, I don't want to have to spend my time explaining. No, that's exactly what the hell you want to do.
Right.
That's what you do this for.
Right.
You have such a need for an identity that you don't have, that you just that sense of self, that you want to be able to bitch at everybody about misgendering or mispronouncing, or I don't even know what it is anymore.
Yeah.
Every one of these, Chris, and I want you to keep on doing it because people, they're like, he hates the trans community. That ain't the trans community. I don't know what the hell that is.
I don't either.
That's an it community.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's an inanimate object, why am I worried about it?
Right. And they change them too. And they're like, oh, I change it sometimes by the day, by the week, by the hour. It's like, what do you mean though? I don't even understand. if it would be one thing if they were like, all right, call me they. Even that, it's like, I can almost get to that now because that's so insane. It's like, if you're going to want me to call you it or heirs, I don't know what planet you guys are on.
So with the Great Reset, glensnewbook.com, as Justin was talking about, this is why it's so easy for these elites and these wealthy power people to take over the world, because this is the level of moron they're having to consume.
Yeah.
I mean, this is mind control, and it's not that hard to do. Oh, my gosh. I love it. Hang tight. We'll be right back. BobbySauce.com. That's where you got to go. That's the one-stop shop for all things Bobby Sausalito. You got to check him out. Follow him on Instagram at Take Naps, and you'll laugh your ass off. You're going to love it, dude. And you're going to be back with us tomorrow night as well, hanging. I'm glad you're in town. Check him out. Also, check me out. WatchChad.com is where all the fun stuff is. My new blog, ChadPrather.com. Check it out. Be sure to share it. We need to get some clicks over there. And ChadNude.com. Please sign up. The overtime, it's going to be coming in the next coming weeks. We're working out the details on that. And then, of course, ChadOnBlaze.com. There's a lot of websites. I'm everywhere. ChadOnBlaze.com. You can get your new Taxation is Theft t-shirt and even a Taxation is Theft mug, which I love it. Tomorrow night's Thursday Off the Rails. We'll be there. Love you. God bless you. Talk to you then. Bye.